Outdoors. I am doing some trip prep. I got a flat on my lawnmower. I had to order a tube. I got to go put that tube in, and I got to get the oil changed in this truck. So I've already drained the oil out. I've got a jug right here, and I save my own burnt motor oil. I use it sometimes. I like to quench some knives in it, but it creates a real dark scale and all on some of that steel, so I don't do it on a lot of my orders. I do it on other stuff. But anyway, poured them on wood that I'm trying to preserve. Like when I refloor my trailer out here, I'm probably gonna mix it with diesel fuel and treat my trailer floor when I refloor it with this oil. So there's uses for this oil. I like to do everything myself. I'm making this video to encourage some of you guys that, if you can, do stuff yourself. Now, my daughter's car, when my wife had it for a while, it was a little Nissan Maxima, and I couldn't really get under it, so I've never changed the oil in it. So, you know, it's within reason and what's practical. I could have built some ramps and done a whole lot of stuff and done oil, but for me, I like to just pull it down here, drain the oil out, jerk the filter off, put new on there. It's easy, you know. Save yourself a lot of money, too. I think I had $50-something worth of oil and then about a $10 filter. So for about 60, 70 bucks, you can change oil in most things yourself. And I realize that's not no huge saving. I didn't need totally that much oil, but I buy Mobil 1 synthetic, and you use whatever kind of oil. That's just what I've always used. My dad likes castor oil. Somebody else likes Valvoline. It's whatever you like, use it. But it takes 7 quarts, and a gallon was, I think it was 5 quarts in there in a jug, and it was $26. And a quart was $9. And I was like, I'm not buying 2 quarts for $20 when I can buy another. So I bought 2-gallon jugs. So that's why it cost me a little bit more, but I got some more oil that I can pour in something else when it's low. You know, you always need to add some oil. You need some extra oil sitting around if you're going to tinker on your own stuff. So let me get the rest of this oil out. I am just kind of doing what I do here, making a little old video. We get ready to go on our trip, and I've got to get this pan right here off, and I'm using my little old drill. I found out the other day with my Milwaukee stuff that my charger had went bad. The drill is perfectly fine, so I went and got me an extension because I've got this little 3/8 deal, and I can take a lot of bolts and stuff out with this. So I'm having to take this pan to get to the filter, and I like this because it's got a flashlight on it. Well, sir, that didn't work out like I wanted it. Broke that one. I knew it didn't feel like things was going my way. Well, life be like that some days, you know it. Got that out of the way. Now let me go ahead and put the plug back in this behemoth. I was letting it drain, make sure it got all the oil out, but always always put the plug back in it right now while you're thinking about it, while you're under here. Don't think, well, I'm gonna get under there and do it in a minute. I done been down that road. It'll run all over the ground. Brand new high dollar oil. Empty this pan before I splash, and I'm gonna spill a little of it on the ground. But that's why I got down here. There ain't no grass, no way. Let me see over here. Let's see where we at. How much can we fit in there? A little bit more. Yeah, that's gonna about do it for that. I gotta find something else now. My jug's full. And that's great fire starter. Don't use gas, use this when you're gonna build a fire and you don't know how. Let's see what the chances are of me just hand unscrewing this oil filter. Probably slim to none, but I got to try. I put a rag on it. Let me get this over here so it'll drip in there. Ooh, I gotta get turned the right way. I may be all out of position to get my grip on it, right? Ooh. I had to use the wrong hand on everything. I'm southpaw, so that kind of hampers me. Ooh. I speculate I'm gonna have to go grab something. Well, y'all won't bet. They ain't a man alive that don't try to do it by his hand first. I can tell y'all. He knows he can't, but he's gonna try. Oh, Lord. Let me see if I can get it with this now. This is some, I think they're Mac pliers I had. But the problem with them is the angle in which I got to. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you, if you don't get completely nasty doing this kind of stuff, you ain't doing it right. You got to get nasty. I don't know if y'all have done this a whole lot. I can get a Fram filter. So you know your stuff's the same. And while you got all that oil on your hand, you put that on you around that rubber part of that filter. You want to oil that rubber ring right there all up. I know y'all, most of y'all already know all this. I'm telling that to a few of them hands that don't know. Everybody don't do this, you know what I mean? That's why I'm making a video. I want to encourage you. It's easy. Change your own oil. It's a little work, but it's very rewarding to know there's some simple things I can do myself, you know. Just makes a man feel good. Be like, I done that myself. And when you tell somebody, say, I changed my own oil, you got to talk real rough like that. That way they know you a man too. Because if you say it with your lip, your wrist limp and flopping, they ain't going to believe you. Try not to pronounce your S's so hard. That'll help you a lot too. Goes a long way in conversation. If you want some respect. If you don't care, then don't worry about it. I said it. I said it out loud too. All right. We got to put that plate back under yonder. This is the kind of junk part of it that I don't like. Let's see if we can find a screw to get started and hold that up out of our way. There's one. That goes right there. Make sure you finger start them screws, because if you start them with that wrench, it'll be like that over yonder we broke off. If y'all want to know what happened, I think we hard one of them oil change joints to do this one time when we was in a pinch. And that's why I like to do it myself. Stuff don't get tore up like that. They probably cross-threaded that thing right on in there with a wrench. Alright, it's in there. It ain't plugs in, filters on and tight, and just hand tighten that filter. You don't tighten it back up with a wrench, because I know somebody's probably watching going, you didn't put a wrench on there and tighten that. No, you don't want to do that, I'm telling you. I had to go back under there and get my socket. It didn't come off with that. When I got over here, I seen it was a missing. Alright, I'm not going to use that dirty oil filter. I mean oil funnel. Y'all know what a funnel is, don't you? I'm going to get a clean one. Hang on. Got a little lint in it. I don't worry about if the outside's clean, long as the inside of this thing's clean. I don't want that dirt junk down there in my engine. Because I change my oil every 50,000 miles, whether it needs it or not. I believe somebody opened that and got them a little splash out of it. That's all right. They might have needed it. They might have been in a bind. I don't mind hipping somebody. As long as I got most of it. They probably poured a little bit in something there. Come on. I know we need 7 and there's 5 in here. Supposed to be. So we're going to pour all that in. Then we're going to pour what we guesstimate's about 2 quarts. I don't need that yet. I need this. Now you can use these to put burnt motor oil in if it's still some in your pan. Come on. Follow what I'm telling you here, hand. I know somebody go, well, why you use that oil over something else? And I'll tell y'all why. When I was doing diesel mechanic work, this is what we ran in truck engines. And we did oil samples, and we did oil samples every 10,000 miles. They changed every 15,000 miles. We changed oil in them 18-wheelers. And we'd always done oil samples and sent them off, I think, to the Caterpillar place, did the oil samples for us. And our oil always come back good. All right, so we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna get our dipping stick out right here, and we're gonna wipe it off real good. Real good. And make sure that oil has run down. Now this engine is just still warm because we just went to town and bought all this stuff. Now you stick that in there and let it sit just a second and ease it up, and then you kind of look and, oh yeah, we over the hole there a little bit. So what I'm gonna do at this point, I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna wipe it off again. I don't know, it ain't gonna help nothing, but I'm gonna wipe it off. We're gonna stick it in there. We're gonna pull this out. We're gonna put our cap on. We're gonna leave that right there. We're gonna put this on here. We're gonna leave it right there. And then now we gotta grease the seat and the steering wheel. We're gonna crank it up. And yeah, I'm filthy. I mean, I told you if you didn't get nasty, you ain't doing it right. Look, I got stuff. Look there. I look like somebody whooped me again. For sure, I've been whooped before. You ain't? Everybody needs it a time or two in their life. All right, we run it just for a minute. Let that oil get circulated in the engine. Fill the filter up, such as that stuff. Now we're gonna wipe it off. I ain't even gonna look at it because it slung it all up in there. Now I'm gonna rim that back down in there and I'm gonna pull it out. And see here, after I done that, it went halfway back down that stick. I need to put about another cord in there, so. We're gonna give that a second to run down in the engine. Get this garbage right here up, put it over here with my garbage. Here's my wiping rag. Nope, ain't full yet. My Lord. Thing holds a lot of oil. It said 7 quarts, but we want a little bit high, I think. I'd rather have a little too much. It'll just go out the exhaust pipe. It ain't good on it, but we up to our mark. We're good now. We're good. Let me show y'all. I know somebody wants to look. Well, let me wipe it off and redo it again. That way you can see. Because I done bumped it and smeared it. All right, you can see right there how far up it come. It's up to my H, which means high. Old time trucks had an F for full. You know, you knew right where to run it to. They don't do us that way no more. They expect you to put that perfect number of 7 liters, or, you know, us country folks don't operate that way. I got a little bit of oil left now to put in something else if I need to, but we good for our trip. Let me go park this up there out of the way and head on there straight. And ready to go. We gotta fix this flat because I need to cut some grass before we drive off from here. I'll come home a week later, it'll look like a hayfield. Load up. Roscoe, hold up. Well, y'all, I got the lawnmower ready to go. I'm fixing to cut a little grass. That way we squared away for our trip. Tomorrow is Saturday. We will be having, I've got an eating and all tomorrow. We will be having a live. You'll probably see this video sometime Saturday, so it'll be the day for you. Like old Lucas Black says, let's bring masculinity back. That being said, I'm fixing to cut the grass. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors, a little just routine maintenance and day-to-day life. And everybody's got these battles you got to fight. You just fight them and keep going on. Keep your head up. Keep a smile on your face. It's going to all be all right. Love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. You going to ride with me, Roscoe? Come on. Let's cut the grass. One thing I better do, y'all, is put some gasohol in there. We're gonna do this and we'll see y'all.